Welcome to the Mattatuck Unitarian Universalist Society Stewardship Campaign, Cultivating Abundance in a Huge Way. This was the presentation given to the congregation on March 13th. Why do we need to have a Unitarian Universalist giving extravaganza? Well, over the past several weeks, many of you have heard testimonials about the way in which MUUS is special to the members of this congregation. But MUUS cannot thrive without an effective stewardship campaign. In the past year, we've been able to do so many things, like having our first town hall conversation, upgrading the sound system, many social justice initiatives, increasing lifespan religious education programming. Much of this has been done outside of the operating budget approved by the congregation. It is important to remember where our income for running MUUS comes from. The majority comes from the pledges made by members and friends. Our annual pledge drive, or canvas, is a way that we get a financial commitment that will enable us to put a budget together for the coming fiscal year. Keep in mind that pledges range from as little as $50 to $6,000, but the average pledge from our members is $1,355. This year, our stewardship campaign will kick off on March 13th and should be ended by April 3rd, meaning that everyone has returned their pledge card and we can tell the board the budget that they can work with. Looking again at the budget for last year, we had income of all sources of $120,000, of which $101,000 came from our pledges. Fundraising activities raised another $17,500. This slide shows our expenses, which were mostly related to personnel, including the minister, and our building and related expenses to running the building. These next two slides show sections from our bylaws about membership, and it's included here to make it clear how important it is for people to return their pledge card to show whether or not they want to be a member or a friend. Being a member is more than just making a contribution. It's being involved in so many of the activities that we are able to provide through MUUS. But again, if we don't have the basic budget to turn on the lights and open the door, most of these things cannot happen. Looking to next year, it's very important that we do have a huge campaign. We realize that just to stay with our current budget would require each person to increase their pledge by 5% to make up for the expected attrition from people leaving the area or having to leave MUUS. In order to make any of the enhancements that so many of us would like to see at MUUS, whether it's adding more hours for our minister, creating a better space for our religious education program, or even adding more hours to help with administration, would require a greater commitment on the part of the congregation. Finally, for those of you who are not at the service on March 13th, you do not need to get a physical pledge card, but you can go onto the MUUS website and, as shown here, click under Contact Us to find a page that will allow you to fill in a pledge card electronically. We hope that you will either fill out your own pledge card or do it electronically and be generous with your contribution.